955 or visit us at Warrenville, Cunupia. Shiklisho Limited. Quality you can trust.
For the everyday lowest prices on all grocery items, trust Low Cost Supermarket for the widest variety of quality products at low prices. Freshly picked fruits and vegetables, healthy products for your well-being, high-quality meat cuts, and a warm and friendly service. Low Cost Supermarket, Southern Main Road, Cunupia.
I'm Brian. I've been welding for more than 25 years. It's a rough job, so I need tools that last long and work efficiently. The most important tool that I use every day is a welding machine. A good one, in my experience, must last at least, let's say, 4 to 5 years without breaking down or losing efficiency. I've been using a Ronix welding machine for about 4 years now, and it's been a really good companion.
Ronix Premium Quality.
Welcome to the home of Pure Oxygen Spring Water. A breathtaking 1,000 feet above sea level, where the elements collide. In an area of outstanding natural beauty. This land, our land, embodies nature, and our methods respect it. We use clean energy, solar, hydro, wind, to bring you the cleanest water. Every drop, sustainably sourced from pristine Cornish farmland. From the raw beauty of rainfall, to our state-of-the-art bottling facility. Situated on an ancient underground lake. We're reminded of the timeless power of pure water. But it doesn't stop here. The secret of cure lies in the pure oxygen we so carefully infuse. To breathe life into every bottle of pure water, without chemicals or additives. Cure pushes the boundaries of what water can do, uniting life's most essential ingredients: water and oxygen. The next generation of hydration. Pure Oxygen, nature's ultimate water.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening and welcome to Breaking Barriers here on IBN Channel 8. It's a pleasure being in your company. Of course, we are coming to you live from the studios of IBN, which is located at 61 Bamboo Main Road, Bamboo number 2, right here. And I've been here for the last 18 years or so. You have to forgive me, my throat sounds a bit froggish. And the reason for that is simply because I was playing young for the bazaar that we had this weekend. And let me just bring on our first advertiser and then we could discussificate that. Of course, our first sponsor is, of course, our good friends, Tile Expression Company Limited. And of course, remember, Tile Expression is where you get all your tiles and you get excellent service as well. And not only that, the quality of tiles that you get far exceeds those that you get elsewhere. So make sure and check them out. As I was saying when I first came on, we had our bazaar, and the bazaar was a phenomenal success. So firstly, I would like to thank God for his mercies, because we had a wonderful time. It was a very a successful event, even though we had only planned it 2 weeks in advance. So therefore, basically, you know, a lot of mileage comes from you, the viewers of this program, who supported. And of course, I saw Raymond Ramnarayan's mom there. You know, she is a frequent visitor. Together with the rest of the family, they tend to visit Baraka Grounds very often. So to mommy, it was a pleasure having you there and seeing you there with the rest of the clan. Of course, my supplier of mushroom on that side, Rohini. So let me just do one thing before we kick off the program here. And of course, that one thing is that I just want to make sure I have this correct. Right. There's a gentleman I want to wish happy birthday to, and his name is Ronnie. And Ronnie, if you're watching right now, maybe this fella that I'm about to put up, maybe you know him. Right, this is Ronnie here. So Ronnie, happy birthday to you, and it's coming from your wife Diane, your son Christian, and your daughter Leah, right? And he's celebrating his birthday today. So all the best to you, Ronnie, on your birthday. You have a hairstyle like me. You have a salt and pepper beard like me. You have a slightish beard like me. The only thing is that your head is not as sexy as mine. All right, so all the best to you, my brother, and I hope that God bless you for many, 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 many more years to come. And of course, wonderful family, of course, that you have there. All right, so let's get the ball rolling. You know, Justin, right, this is, in fact, what we have done is that we have essentially closed our bookings for this, because we have, we decided that, look, mid-February is when we're going to close off, because we need to start prepping for this. So this is our Ramadan Expo, which takes place at Baraka Grounds, and it's from the 1st to the 3rd of March. And if you want, even though we are solidly booked, if you want, I could chuck in 1 or 2 spots just to help you out, so that at least you get the opportunity to survive. You know, because that is what we do here. And as I said at the beginning, my throat is killing me. So therefore, just bear with me, please, because at this age, to be in a Dunkin' tank, you know, some guy came, and this man he spent about $100 to put me down in the Dunkin' tank. And of course, I was the one that put on my attorney, Richard Jagisa, in the Dunkin' tank, and his mother have that video, I believe. I'm sorry that she did not send that to me, because I would have loved to have shown that on air, where Richard was dunked in the tank. And of course, I would like to thank Richard, his mother, his father, his friends, and everybody who came, as well as I would just like to thank my good friend Inder and his family. You know, I've started to mention people and I'll get myself in trouble. So let me thank the whole Baraka team who was there. You know, everyone who assisted. Phenomenal effort. Well done, guys. Tremendous effort, right? So let's, Justin, the first thing I want to do is get to that, that piece that I sent you last. There was a text message that I sent you last. Do you have, see if you could cue that up for me, please, because that one concerns me the most out of everything that I sent to you tonight. That one, because you know what is interesting? Right. Cue that up for me. Go ahead. Right. Good evening, Mr. Ishmael. I used to work with my cousin operating a pirogue to Venezuela and back. While I was there, we used to charge $500 US for adults and $300 for children. We would transport approximately 10 to 15 on most trips. I left because on the last trip, he brought back some fellas who had guns with them. He would pay me 200 TT per trip just to assist with loading and offloading. We would make 3 trips per night, and on 2 occasions, we were stopped by Coast Guard vessel, but we paid our bribes and were allowed to proceed. Now, what is interesting is how that is written. We paid our bribes and we were allowed to proceed. So it seems as if that is a norm. Now, let me just calculate here, but just now, because half my phone working and half ain't working. Unfortunately, my phone, I was using my phone at the top of a lift and it fell, and top part of the screen is giving some problems here, but I'll try to get through the night using it. I just have to squeeze the button a little harder. Right, so let me do a little calculation, to see what we're looking at, right? So if we have 15 people, multiply by 500, right? Well, all right, children do, let's say average. Okay, so here, let us say 400. So 15 by 400. That's $6,000 per trip, right? That is $6,000 per trip. So when you have $6,000 per trip, multiply by 3 trips for the night, that is 18,000 US per trip. Multiply that by, say, people buying US for 7.25. One boat making 130,000 every night. One pirogue making $130,000 every night. 130,000. Those boatmen could become millionaires in 2 weeks' time. Millionaires. And the Coast Guard is feeding off this. And when you hear about a boat or a tug or whatever sinking, and then 7 days after, you're hearing, based on tracking and this and that, you hear that it was a non-motorized, blah, 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 whatever. All of a sudden now, we are finding out that the owners are abroad, one is that they will come down. But this happened 7 days ago, of which most likely these people were made aware of. Look here what's happening. All your thing turn over, what going on. And I mean, as the owner, you must know. But you see, in this country called Trinidad and Tobago, you could have a dinghy and you're fishing, Coast Guard will come and frustrate you. I remember when there was this incident with the divers, where the divers were murdered, right? Where those divers were murdered. We went out at sea. I went out at sea with a family member. And my drone was actually locked down. And my drone went down in the water, right? And the Coast Guard came after us and told us to move out, even though we were literally about 1,000 to 2,000 feet away from the incident where it took place. We were told by the Coast Guard to blaze trail, to leave. And when you look at the intimidation and harassment of sometimes of innocent people, the Coast Guard is similar to the police service, where you have criminals in uniforms, and of course the defense force, which you also have criminals in uniforms. So when you look at simple things taking place, like for example, citizens getting harassed for fishing in the wrong area, isn't it understandable that a man could come with a massive, a massive boat, a massive vessel, a massive barge. The barge could turn over, all kind of thing could happen. And the Coast Guard is dumb for 6-7 days. Isn't this the norm in Trinidad and Tobago? What has changed? What has changed from 10, 15, 20 years ago? We have so many boats that are still down because of the incompetent idiots we have in the Coast Guard. But you see, again, what I'm about to say, many people may not like, but I prefer to hit you a dose of the truth. Let me just welcome Neil Schultz to this segment. And of course, I would like to thank Neil Schultz for being, this is what, their 3rd, 4th year on board. And of course, this is where you can get all your European parts for all European vehicles, whether it is mechanical, electrical, or body. Give them a call. They're located right there in Aruca. Yes, let me continue on the part that I was heading. When I looked at what took place during the course of the last 2 days, I saw unprecedented crowds in Sangre Grande. I saw literally thousands of people gathered. And I said to myself, I congratulate all those people who gathered. I am not going to judge them, right? Because at the end of the day, those people are big people, and they decided if they want to wear dental floss on their backsides, that is their right, right? I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't encourage other people to do it. And I pray that none of my children or my family do it, because these days, that is all you could do. Because like I always say, you make children, but you don't make their minds. And when I look at that, I congratulate them, because you know why? Those people set a goal in their minds. And the goal was to go out and fet and be drunk and get on stupid. And that was the goal that they set in their mind. So they went to achieve their goal. The people who I am disappointed in are the people like you and I, whose goal it is to get a better country, whose goal it is for us to be comfortable in our homes, whose goal it is to educate our children and let them be a positive part of society. We are not achieving our goal. We are not setting out and meeting our targets. We are not going forward and standing up and making a difference, because we are comfortable where we are until it hit home. Today, I looked at a video from TV6 with the present police commissioner and the Minister of National Security. Take a listen and take a look and tell me what you really think about this. Go ahead, guys.
Good morning, members of the media. This morning, on the invitation, as usual, of the Commissioner of Police, the Chief of Defense Staff, the Commissioner of Prisons, and the other heads of divisions of national security, I accepted an invitation to join them in this walk through the city, typically to touch all of the judging points around the city in these Carnival celebrations. And we do so in part to signal to the national community that as a united team, national security has been and continues to put things in place to ensure that Carnival 2024, including all of the programs in the run-up to it, would be safe, secure, and enjoyable for our citizens and for our many visitors. I am told by the Minister of Tourism, Culture and the Arts that all of the hotel rooms known and recorded are filled to capacity. I have seen for myself the many tourists who are around and about enjoying a few moments with us in Trinidad and Tobago. The Commissioner of Police has reported that the police have observed in all of the centers, in all of the celebration centers, the tourists have come in large numbers, contrary to the predictions of others. It behoves of me to observe as well that the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has come out, as it always does, in large numbers in support of the efforts of safety and security Carnival 2024. Ably supported by the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force, which has...
You know what's the sad part about that man? But you ask him one question, and the man just can't shut up. He's just going on, yeah, all the time. I mean, one question the media will ask him, right? And he broadmouth will just go on and on and on. Can't answer that one question, you know. And you heard what he said about, you know, they come out in large numbers. But, you know, when criminals put on work and rape citizens of this country, you don't see them in large numbers. When families are held captive in their homes, right, and guns are pulled to their heads and ransoms are demanded, or their businesses are robbed and pillaged, you don't see police, you don't see army in large numbers. But you see army in large numbers to protect foreigners who are here just for a few days. And this is the level of incompetence we continue to see under the minister and the Ministry of National Security. So, I want you to understand that we as a people, we have a choice. For 18 years I've been preaching this. We have a choice. Either we like it how it is and we stick to where we are, or we make some choices which will make the difference. I continue to say every single week, when you pass 50, 1 foot is already down inside that grave. It is just a matter of time before the other one falls. What are we waiting on to make a difference? What are we waiting on? Next year is election. And you know what is going to start to happen? What is going to start to happen is that they're going to start to pave roads, and they're going to start to do this, and they're going to start to do that, and then fool the populace as usual. And the people who are accustomed to being fooled will vote back for the same thing again. There was a video that I sent you with earlier. Yes, run that video for me, please.
Elated that the citizens felt safe enough to come out in their numbers, the masqueraders out, the spectators out, and everyone is feeling that sense of safety and security, so we have achieved what we want.
Last week, the TTPS announced that officers were called out from leave to bolster the number of boots on the ground, and drones were also being deployed for the Carnival celebrations.
The Carnival has been relatively safe other than one incident yesterday morning where a patron was stabbed during an attempted robbery, but he's doing fine. We have no other serious incidents, and we trust that it will continue until last lap.
Well, fear is a psychological condition, but what I can tell you, this morning, the Jewel of the Sea, a cruise liner of international repute, deposited 2,000 persons to our shores. What I can tell you is that the Minister of Tourism has reported to the Cabinet that all the rooms across...
Really and truly, anytime this man started to talk, I just expect him to fall asleep, right? But what happened, because we have seen on many occasions, the man sleeping. So I call him the sleeping minister. But let us come back to where we are at right now. I want to ask you a question tonight, right? Tonight, I'm going to give you the opportunity to give someone the Kobo Award. Tonight, I want you to appoint, in fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up my phone lines just for about 10, 15 minutes. And I want you to appoint one person to give the Kobo Award. So guys, open up, right? And your choice, you decide. I see Faris in a video dancing, and boy, let me tell you something. The man look like Pinocchio. You know Pinocchio, how he does move, you know what I mean? Or if you watch Pinocchio when he was in Shrek, that is exactly how Faris look. My throat is killing me bad, bad, bad. Right? So what I want to do too as well is that I want to remind people that even though my program is on right now, I am concerned about what is taking place in Gaza. I am very concerned. In fact, every single day, I tune in and I watch what is taking place. Over 10,000 children murdered. And tonight, a little bit later on, I will show you some videos and some clips, very graphic. So I ask that, you know, I'm giving you a warning up front that, you know, we have some graphic videos and some graphic clips, because I think I need to keep this alive. Because unfortunately, 90% of our leaders in Trinidad and Tobago within my community, apparently this doesn't bother them. They're not concerned. For whatever reason, maybe they're unaware of the facts. Maybe it is they don't have a phone and they don't see. Maybe it is they don't have internet connection. I am trying to make excuses for, right? Yeah, we're going to deal with that just now. All right, so let's open up our phone lines, guys. And I want you to tell me who you believe should be given the Kobo Award 2024. Because when you look at what is taking place, when you have Erla boasting that things went well and there was only one incident, Erla did not mention how many people died under her watch over the last year or so. Erla did not mention the statistics which showed how much murders were committed, how many women were murdered, how many children were murdered under her watch. All they're talking about is Carnival was safe. And this is something we see every year. Every single year. Every single year, we have the government come and telling us that Carnival 2021 was safe, 2022 was safe, 2023 was safe. And tomorrow morning, everything goes back to normal, where the bandits will start back again, because the bandits live in areas that are PNM hotspots, and they are sponsored, they are state-sponsored criminals. The PNM is responsible for funding the majority of these criminals. The PNM is the one who feeds the criminals with contracts, and those same criminals will take guns courtesy the PNM and come back for me and you. And this is where we're at. This is where we are at. But again, like I said before, unfortunately, we have a society that is a sleeping society. Let's run through the slides, guys, and then we'll start to shoot through some of those calls. These fellas walking through Port of Spain, what purpose that serve? I asked the question tonight, what purpose does it serve that all the heads of the security services in Trinidad and Tobago walking through Port of Spain and look skinnier teeth, they're going to buy more new vehicles again, and those vehicles would not even stand up for a year. $26 million in vehicles again. $26 million. Every direction you go, you're seeing vehicles damaged, but they get more. Put back that thing there. And then this last week, we had a situation where Minister Hines said that the police height requirement is a serious thing, right? With the beard requirement, I understand it is saved law and you cannot change it. But the reality of it is that with this height requirement, the matter was overturned in court, and basically the height is not a determining factor to be a police. In Trinidad and Tobago, we are not worried about height because we have seen police with plenty width. You understand what I'm saying? Some of them tall, but they're broad. You understand? You running on bandit, them can make 5 steps and them breathing hard. And this is what we have in Trinidad. Right? So let's go again, guys. This was some questions asked by Robin Montano in relation to the ship or the barge or whatever that went down. Who is the owner? Is it a company? Who are the shareholders? Did the oil come from Trinidad? Where was the ship going? Who was buying the oil? Did the oil come from Venezuela? There were some reports that about 14 seamen were found dead in Tobago waters. Was this report true? And assuming that report was not true, where are the crew members and the captain? A ship of this size is worth a lot of money, as is the oil that it was carrying, right? How much was it worth? How did this ship get wrecked? How could this ship get itself wrecked without the Coast Guard being aware of that? Can a boat or ship pass through waters without being detected? Yes, it can, if you pay the correct amount of bribes to the correct amount of people in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, right? And there he goes again. Who insured the ship? Who insured the cargo? What type of person, firms, or corporations can afford a loss like this? What was the name of the ship? And where was it registered? Did Venezuela have anything to do with this? Was this a drug deal gone wrong? And these are some pretty relevant questions here by Robin Montano. And then you have a release from the Ministry of National Security now. And the release says, the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard has confirmed that at least 2 vessels were involved in the oil spill incident that has been engaging the attention of multiple, could we zoom that back up again? Right, of multiple agencies in Trinidad and Tobago. Even as investigations are continuing, video footage and other information obtained by the TTCG had confirmed that the 2 vessels are a tugboat and a barge. Right? So, all of a sudden now, we're beginning to get answers. And then Paulo Kernahan asked some questions too as well. How can a vessel of that nature be in our maritime borders without the authorities having any knowledge of it? All you forget, Paulo, you forget is Trinidad and Tobago. In Trinidad and Tobago, right, all you see the big ship, the cruise ship that come with 2,000 passengers. But let me tell you something. Ships with 10,000 passengers can land here at different points and they wouldn't even know. Because you see, in this country, it's bribe for everything and anything. You want a driver's permit, bribe. You don't want a driver's permit, bribe. You want your passport, is bribe. You want to go Tobago, but you don't want to be seen, bribe. You want to go Venezuela, yeah, bribe. And this is how Trinidad is run. This is how it is run. Let me just thank our good friends Automax Super Concentrated Car Wash for sponsoring this segment. And remember, they are available in different sizes. You have 55 gallons, 18 liters, 2 liters. So if you have a car wash, give them a call. And of course, they will deliver to you. And this is for wholesale inquiries only, please. Or for those of you who have businesses that sell wholesale, not for retail purchase. All right, so let's go again, guys. Government suspends the quota for cement imports. Now, I want to state this categorically. Many of you would remember Rockhard. Rockhard used to import cement from our good friends in Turkey. Guys, remember we have a new video ad for Biltalas, so make sure that ad plays, please. Biltalas hardware, remember they're located right there, Lampole number 6. Southern Main Road, right by St. Mary's Junction, where you can get everything and anything hardware, plus all your roofing materials. Remember, they manufacture sheets, they manufacture guttering, you name it. Anything you need for your house, you can check them out. Call them on 299-4079. And of course, they have roll forming on site, meaning that all the edges, you know, that they use on the roofing, they form that on site, so you're good to go. All right, so let's go again, guys. Statement from Dr. Gopi Singh. Health Minister must address public concerns on reported post-Carnival increases in COVID and other respiratory infections among the population. Here we go again. Here we go again. Come back to me. We had, all of us, we heard before we went into Carnival that there was an increase in COVID cases. Now, there are many people who may not be able to take the full jamming when it comes to COVID. Those people with respiratory issues, some people with heart issues, some people with lung infections, some people who are asthmatic. And when you go, and I keep telling people this, and that's why I love Trinidadians, because you know why? They will go intentionally, put on a piece of dental floss, expose themselves, and come home to their sick mothers or fathers. And all the bacteria and all the whatever they were exposed to, they would bring it into that home. And that parent who they claim to love so much, they have now exposed that parent. But you see, in this country, faith is more important than health. Faith is more important than parents in some cases. Because if I know, and that is who I am, if I know I have a sick parent, and I know that even somewhere, if I go abroad, that have something going on right now, and I could bring it back to my parents, I'm not going. Whether it is $1 million is involved, or $10 million is involved, I am not going. But you see, in Trinidad, we like to party hard. And when we party hard, everything else, irrelevant. Everything else, irrelevant. Let's go again, guys. This was brought to my attention, a video. I was shown a video with a woman bending over and a young child gyrating on her. But you see this woman, and that's the young man who was pulled aside by the woman. And I would like to compliment this woman. This security here, this woman, whoever you are, I compliment you. Because you know why? Number one, that, where were the parents of this child? Where were the parents? This boy cannot be more than 10 years older. Where were his parents? That's number one. Number two, what type of woman will allow a child to be gyrating on her, a less than 10-year-old child? Something have to be wrong with you. And to me, I am watching this carefully because there has to be charges laid. Because you cannot, whether it is you are the one to the front or one to the back, you cannot be doing that. And somebody has to face the full consequences. But you see, in Trinidad, the way things work is that we will just forget about that and they'll brush that off. And one is that the girl will say, well, boy, I was just there doing this and that, and then all of a sudden, boom. Right? And nothing else. And everything else fall flat. We forget about it. The woman go her way. The boy looks to go somewhere else. And the parents encourages it again. Because let me tell you something. What the hell you doing there in the first place as a child? What the parents have you doing there? It have women and men who are having sexual acts in public. Watch at some of the things going on in public. And this is in full view of everybody else. There are videos outside there with men in cars, with women, and all kind of drama. And children are exposed to this. And people, sick parents, I call them sick because something had to be wrong with you to take a child and carry a child in that environment. Something had to be wrong with you to take a child and intentionally carry that child in that environment. How could you? And when that child grew up to be thirsty now, you want to know why. When you expose that child, that 8-year-old child, yes, they see a lot on their phone, but to see it in real is something else. Because you see, we have these big hardback pothongs that is be gyrating on one another like animals in heat, and they don't care. It's as if they don't have a bedroom. And this is what the Trinidad culture is. The Trinidad culture is a nasty culture whereby we have no respect. But you see, the sad thing is that the religious leaders in this country, deaf, dumb, and blind, this is something that should be spoken about and dealt with by many of the religious leaders. But you see, as religious leaders, sometimes our children may be involved. Sometimes our wives may be involved. And what happens is that anytime we talk about it, it may be that we seem to be hypocritical. But we are taught, and I'm telling you how the Muslims are taught here now, how Muslims are taught, even if you are a thief, you are supposed to speak out against it. Or if you know someone who's a thief, you're supposed to speak out against it. Because maybe by speaking out against it, you'll stop. Let's go again, guys. This is police on Carnival night. Watch this. Parading through. While bandits all over the country enjoying themselves, this is what the police, what purpose does this serve? Did the police have a display? Did they have what they had a march? What purpose was this? To show the strength of what the police? To show that this is the same police that many of them that be failing us every single day in this country? What purpose does this serve? You see, we have a carnival mentality again, and you have a government who pushes the carnival mentality. But I'll tell you something. What is going to shock them is what I'm about to do this week. Because this week, we are asking for a comprehensive breakdown of the $146 million spent on Carnival. Every cent. Every contractor, what did the contractor do? How many nails did the contractor put on? How many trucks did he provide? What audio system? How many trailers? Every single thing under NCC, every single dollar NCC is going to have to account for. They barely go walk them. They'll get diarrhea when I'm done with them. Because you see, every year they ball the same thing. 140. I cannot see. I'm a businessman. And I cannot see $50 million being spent on Carnival, much less over $100 million. And this is what it turns into. Right? There has to be accountability. And as I said before, through the Freedom of Information Act, we will be getting every single thing. Let me just thank my good friends, Mitsu Air Limited. And remember, Mitsu Air Limited, they are the agents for Mitsubishi Electric cooling and, well, heating, but in Trinidad, we use the cooling part. So if you have a residential area, you have a commercial building, and you need to get some quality air conditioning units, and I'm talking about air conditioning units with 10-year warranty, This is not no 1 year or 2 year warranties, right? So check them out, give them a call and tell them that you heard it right here on Breaking Barriers. As I said earlier on more than once or twice, my throat is killing me. So I'm going to take a break, and when I come back, we'll continue right here on Breaking Barriers. We'll be back.
I'm Brian. I've been welding for more than 25 years. It's a rough job, so I need tools that last long and work efficiently. The most important tool that I use every day is a welding machine. A good one, in my experience, must last at least, let's say, 4 to 5 years without breaking down or losing efficiency. I've been using a Ronix welding machine for about 4 years now, and it's been a really good companion.
Ronix Premium Quality. Ronix Heavy Duty 89 Series. High efficiency, brushless 20-volt motor. All-in-one professional angle grinder kit. Ronix brushless angle grinder.
Welcome to the home of Pure Oxygen Spring Water. A breathtaking 1,000 feet above sea level, where the elements collide. In an area of outstanding natural beauty. This land, our land, embodies nature, and our methods respect it. We use clean energy, solar, hydro, wind, to bring you the cleanest water. Every drop, sustainably sourced from pristine Cornish farmland. From the raw beauty of rainfall to our state-of-the-art bottling facility. Situated on an ancient underground lake, we're reminded of the timeless power of pure water. But it doesn't stop here. The secret of cure lies in the pure oxygen we so carefully infuse. To breathe life into every bottle of pure water, without chemicals or additives. Cure pushes the boundaries of what water can do, uniting life's most essential ingredients: water and oxygen. The next generation of hydration. Pure Oxygen, nature's ultimate water.
This year, protect your home with a beautiful standing seam roof that is built to last. Standing seam roofs are proven to last longer, eliminate potential leak points and rusting that screws cause. Build to Last is offering 5% off your purchase, plus save up to $2,000 with free roll forming of your roofing sheets and guttering. Roofing that's built to last. Build to Last Hardware and Roofing Manufacturing Limited, Southern Main Road, Freeport. Call or WhatsApp 355-7703.
Mitsu Air Limited, authorized Mitsubishi air conditioning dealer. No need to replace your air conditioning units ever so often. Split units, cassette, ductable, CTVIF systems, and much more. Mitsubishi Electric has long been powering industries and providing solutions for healthy living. Mitsu Air Limited boasts the industry's first 10-year warranty on all parts and labor. Inverter units are also available. Don't hear it, just feel it. Mitsu Air Limited, 246 Eastern Main Road, Barataria. Give us a call at 674-4000 or 675-4000 or email us at mitsu.limited@gmail.com.
And welcome back, my friends. Of course, Extra Care. This segment is brought to you courtesy Extra Care. And just to let you know, what happened is that Cure sold out completely, out of stock. But of course, that will be coming back soon, just to advise you. Of course, this segment brought to you courtesy our good friends at Extra Care. And whenever you see this brand, know that you're buying a product that is exceptionally high standard, a product that comes from a company with years and years of experience, and a company that manufactures a lot of products for the big brand names. So therefore, when you purchase Extra Care products, take a sniff, take a test, and you will see that some of them smell like, look like, exactly the same like the big box stores, their packaging and their items, and what you're paying for is the same thing, plenty less money. All right, so let's go again. And what I'm going to do to save my throat, I need to open up my phone lines tonight, because definitely I can't keep going like this, because my throat is almost, it's inflamed right now because of, I unfortunately stayed with wet clothes on Sunday, and it impacted on my throat, and for that I apologize. So let's open up the phone lines and hear what you have to say in regards to some of the issues that we have discussed. And of course tonight we're going to select our Kobo of the Year award to see who actually falls into that bracket. All right, so remember, when you call in, turn on the volume on your television, please, because we don't want any feedback. And oh guys, what are the slides I have? Let me just run it through while we're organizing the take calls, please. This, imagine this. Could we zoom into that? This is what Carnival has turned into Trinidad and Tobago. This is what we have as Carnival. You know, and not wanting from the mosques and the churches and from the, you know, many of them too busy collecting funds. And it is sad that something like this can be portrayed and there's utter silence except by those people like myself. Let's go to our lines. Hello. Hello.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Good program.
Thank you.
I will give Heinz the award.
What's that?
I'm giving Heinz the award, the Kobo award.
Oh, you're giving Heinz the Kobo award. And why are you giving Heinz that Kobo award now? Let me hear.
I done with that. I ain't going through that. That is enough. I want you to take a little baking soda, put it in some other pure water, and that will be the end of you, and that's sore throat, that tightness in your throat, okay?
Thank you so much.
While just ask them for a little baking soda, and just swallow that. If you want to sprinkle a little bit, even with the alcohol soda and juice level salts, anything with soda in it. And
excellent.
It's going to eliminate that
sore throat.
And tonight, your program is very respectful, and I appreciate it very much.
Thank you so much.
I was hard on you because I was touching up, I was beating up on my queen, the Honorable Kamala Prasad II. But tonight, I forgive you, and I am commending you for this
no love lost.
Tonight.
No love lost. No love lost. Thank you very much, my dear. All the best. All the best. Take care. Let's go again to our lines. Hello.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Yeah. Good evening. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll give Heinz
the Kobo award.
Kobo award.
And why would you give that respectful gentleman the Kobo award?
That man doesn't have any sense at all. He's a total waste of time.
I have never seen a more incompetent minister in my life. All right? Thank you very much, caller. Thank you so much.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you so much. And so far, we batting 100 out of 100 for Heinz. I feel I might really have to end this program earlier, boy, because I am actually literally feeling my throat closing in with the pain. And as I was telling you before we take that next caller, what happened is that when I went into the Dunkin' Tank on Sunday, I went in with a jeans and a jersey, and I remained in that jeans and jersey for about an hour or so before I changed over. So what happened is that my clothes were soaking wet, and this was in the evening with that cold breeze. So that really hit me for six. That really hit me for six, and that is why my throat is inflamed, And I really feel that I may have to close off the program a little early tonight. But let's take some calls and let's hear what you have to say about everything that I discussed tonight. And, of course, the Kobo Award, who you feel it should go to. Hello? Hello?
Pleasant good night, Mr. Inchan. I'm now tuning in.
Pleasant good night, my friend.
The Kobo Award is between whom?
It's between anybody you say, who you believe should receive the Kobo Award in Trinidad and Tobago.
I'll give the Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Christopher.
And I want you to justify your reasons for giving this goodly gentleman the Kobo Award.
Well, my reason is throw your mind back a little.
Right.
During the course of the Tobago THA election,
right,
he told the Tobagonians on a political platform that if they ever vote against him, he would not forgive them.
Yes, I remember that. And they send a very clear message to him. They turn the whole of Tobago green.
That's correct. You have a blessed one.
Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you very much. All right, so tonight you are naming the person who you believe should get the Kobo Award. So far, we have Heinz in the lead. Let's go again. Hello? Hello?
Yes, hello?
Yes, go ahead, please. You're live.
Yes, give the Kobo Award to the 5 previous Minister of National Security in the UNC government. 5. Nothing didn't change. Crime went down, nothing didn't change. You're silent? Thank you.
No, and there's nothing wrong with that because at the end of the day, it is your right to vote for who you want. I have no problems with that. You could vote the opposition leader. You could vote the Minister of Finance. I don't care. Let's go again. Hello? Hello?
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah?
Go ahead, please. You're live.
Okay. Mr. Inchan, good night.
Good night.
Yeah. Mr. Inchan, I want to ask one question. If I just do my work in TNTEC. I'm a TNTEC worker, right?
Right.
And my income tax now must cost a certain amount, but I have to write a letter claiming that what I have to do with the money before I get back my income tax. Right? And in order, I have to write a letter claiming that how I'm going to claim back my income tax and to get back my money what I pay for.
Right.
With the government tax one.
Right.
Right? Okay, so I can listen to it here, right?
Okay then. Okay. For me, I have my accountant that does everything for me. So asking me any questions when it comes to taxes and things, you have to ask my accountants, all right? Because I just, when them tell me, look, like my quarterlies and my VAT or whatever I pay, and I didn't hear the exact question that you were asking, so I humbly apologize. You can get back to me on 6844-762, and I will try to my best so I can help you out. Let's go again. Hello?
Yeah, Inchan, good night.
Good night.
Inchan, I'll be calm, I'll go award, boy.
All right, the woman who called earlier on will call and deal with you.
No, and my reason for this is because she's holding back the country right now from moving forward. That is my reason for that.
And all I could do is agree with you. I will agree with you 100% because, quite frankly, that is factual.
You enjoy your night.
Thank you very much, Kola. Let's go again. Hello? Hello?
Hello, good evening, Inchan.
Good evening, my friend.
Yeah, I want to give Mr. Rowley, Dr. Rowley, the Kobo Award.
Ah, boy, you're make sure and giving me respect, boy. Dr. Rowley.
Yeah, give him respect. I mean, he's a doctor. The fact is, the reason why I am suggesting he gets the award, when the matter came up as the divers and they should have paid certain monies,
yes,
he said there were certain processes that the need to observe. We had a budget in September, October last year. There was no provision made for this $100 million to be spent in a hotspot area as such. But there were no proceeds to be observed. In fact, he had just announced that $100 million would be made available. Whether it was available to the Minister of Finance, where it was coming from, what it was going to do, how it was going to be spent.
Right.
There was no need for processes, but there were processes with regard to divers, with regard to the area board.
Right.
Processes that we followed. So against that background, I say he deserves the award.
Thank you very much, Kola, and I am in agreement with you there too as well. All right, so guys, what I want you to do is hold the calls, because what happens is that I definitely can't go through for a full program because my throat is killing me. As you can hear, I am about to lose my voice, but I have to deal with this. This segment of the program, which I'm going to literally force myself to do because my throat is paining me. This segment of the program is a must because of what is going on in Gaza. As a Muslim, I always tell people, I may not be perfect, but I love my religion. I love the people who are outside of my religion. And for everybody who know me, I try to be as fair as possible to every single person. But when it comes to my religion and the people who belong to my faith, whether it is they live in Trinidad or abroad, as with Christians and with Catholics and Hindus, we tend to feel a special place in our heart for those people who are from amongst our faith. And when I watch videos, because what I see and what I witness, you don't see and you don't witness, because there are people in Gaza that I deal with directly, who I get videos from, and I can't show it because it's the raw footage, raw pieces of children torn apart, children with their heads blown open. And I'm going to show you some videos tonight. Some of it may shock you with statements that are being made, and some of you may not be shocked because we are accustomed to it. So I just want to advise that some of the statements that you're about to hear will be graphic in nature. Some of the statements being made, right? Some of the things being said will be downright racist and Islamophobic, and this is to expose what is going on worldwide, because at the end of the day, I have a TV station and it is my duty to put this out. I am not going to do like others. I believe that as a person of faith, I keep telling people this mark on my head, it is not for flash. It is not for style. It serves a purpose. So I want to repeat again, some of the images which will be shown tonight are very graphic, please. So please, to those of you who it may affect in one way or another, we ask that you just please step away while these images are being displayed. All right, so let's go, guys.
More than 100 days and 75 years. 100 days of the highest rate of civilians slaughtered in the 21st century.
You know what? That video, I want to leave that video for last, because that video could run and then we could close off, right? Because that video is about 5-6 minutes long. So let's go to the other stuff that we have, the shorter stuff.
Here in Israel, for generations, we kill the Palestinians. We injure the Palestinians. We have more than 1,500 Palestinians in administrative detention. We demolish their houses here in Jerusalem. We cut down their olive trees. We confiscate their property, their waters. And most Israelis expect them to accept it. And when they don't accept it, they react in violent way. They blame them, the Palestinians. For most Israelis, I mean, we hold millions of Palestinians under occupation for generations. They are deprived their basic rights. And for most Israelis, it can go on forever. Look, don't get me wrong, I'm not justifying the violence. But this is I think the realistic conclusion. How can we expect the Palestinians to live under occupation forever? Every Israeli citizen knows clearly that if you dare to show the slightest sentiment towards the people of Gaza, if you criticize killing of innocent civilians, including women and children in Gaza, you will be politically persecuted. You will go through public shaming. You will lose your job. And in my case, be put in jail. I wanted as many Israelis to...
The gentleman is an Israeli. And he is telling you the fact, his experience. This is not Inshan Ishmael saying so. This is a gentleman who is from Israel telling you the facts. And the reason I'm concerned about this is because if we could take millions of dollars of in worth of goods and send it to Dominica because Dominicans lost their homes and we showed love and compassion. If we can take 7 or 8 containers of goods and send it when Haiti had their earthquake because we showed love and compassion, how come it is that love and compassion is absent even from my community? Because when you ask people to just gather, they're a bunch of cowards and a bunch of hypocrites. And that is the sad reality where we're at. Let's go again, guys. What did those children do? 10,000 children dead. What did those children do? What the hell did those children do? Why it is the leaders in CARICOM cannot get together and say with a united stand that we stand against this? Why it is the Muslim leaders all over Trinidad and Tobago can't get off their fat asses and say, here what's happening, let us come together and make a difference? Why? Why is it so hard for us to see? Look at this. Look at this. Imagine the food distribution and they are being shot at when they are going for food and you are hearing the live ammunition in the background. But yet it is, you have these idiots coming and telling me your beard too short, that pants you have are not appropriate, that jersey you have I don't like where you're right. But we went on the longest gown, we have the biggest beard and we are set up bloody hypocrites. When are we going to wake up? When are we, what's going on? Former senior official from the US dancing with Israeli soldiers while children are being murdered. What is wrong? What is wrong with us as a people, boy? What is wrong with humanity that you could get joy in murdering a child? In murdering a pregnant woman, in murdering an elderly man? How could you get joy in that? What type of sick people are you? We have leaders, right? And as I said before, my throat is killing me, but I have to do this. We have leaders who are saying we will kill children. And you know what? We have people who follow them politically. And there are women who saying, yes, we will support the killing and the murdering of children and the murdering of pregnant women and the murdering of mothers and the murdering of fathers. While the rest of the world, UAE, United Arab Emirates, sitting on their backsides doing nothing, run by an idiot. Turkey, talk, a bunch of idiots around the Muslim world, a bunch of idiots, while children being murdered. And the people who are making the biggest difference are those who are not of the Muslim faith in South Africa, in other countries as well. I don't know what to say again, because I have watched these things and I have become immune. I've become immune, but it pains me to see this, because when you look at what is taking place, that is someone's child, boy. That is a mother who gave birth to that child and cried tears of joy when that child came out. And that mother suckled that young until that child reached a certain age, to watch that child grow up, for that child to be something. And those children have no future. And we are comfortable sitting down as a people in our homes, preparing for Ramadan. Ramadan is coming, and we're going to eat our tails full in the morning, and we're going to eat our tails full in the evening, and not a tear will be shed for those people who are being murdered. Because why? The love for faith and the love for people around hasn't really touched our hearts, you know. It hasn't reached there as yet. Let's go again, guys. Run it. Remember, graphic images, guys. Let's go.
Israel now demands that 1 million people from Gaza, who are now trapped in this tiny place called Rafah, evacuate, and the Western government's response has been hypocritical. While Americans were busy watching the Super Bowl, Israel started bombing Rafah, and they have been using all of their military arsenals. They used fighter jets, artillery shellings, and tanks. These are the exact sort of military arsenals you would use when going to a full-scale war. Remember, these are just innocent civilians. Their homes, livelihoods, and every single thing that's worthy of being called human beings have already been destroyed. Israel first ordered them to move from the north to the southern part of Gaza, claiming that it was the only safe place for them. Not only has the whole world seen that that is a lie, but now Israel is ordering them to evacuate from Rafah. Where would these 1 million people move to? They can't move back to the north, because according to Israel, it's not safe. The question is, if this is not ethnic cleansing, then what is it?
Wait a minute, you're saying it's only been one civilian that's been killed for one Hamas terrorist in Gaza?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Yes, we've killed and wounded over 20,000 Hamas terrorists. Out of that, about 12,000 fighters, and we're doing everything we can to minimize civilian casualties and continue to do so. But one thing we're not going to do is we're not going to let Hamas emerge victorious.
כן, אנחנו אומרים שאנחנו רוצים לקחת להם אדמה, לקחת להם את השטח ולהתיישב, כי רק ככה הם יבינו שניצחנו אותם. לא מעניין אותם הבתים, לא מעניין אותם ההרוגים, לא מעניין אותם שום דבר חוץ מהאדמה.
אני לא מרחם על העזתים האלה. אני לא חושב שיש מישהו במדינת ישראל, בארץ ישראל, שצריך לרחם על העזתים האלה. לא על מבוגרים, לא על קשישים, לא על צעירים ולא על ילדים. העזתים, מבחינתי שירבו למוות.
I really can't digest any more of that. But you know what is really sad, boy? The other day I passed by Starbucks in by Sun Plaza there. And I saw someone that I know personally sitting down in his vehicle. And as soon as the person spot me, because I park right next door to go Subway, as soon as the person saw me, he got out of his vehicle and to the corner of my eye, signaling whoever is inside Starbucks, don't come out, don't come out. I am not God. You have no reason to fear me. You could go ahead and drink how much Starbucks you want. Starbucks and their investors are some of the biggest supporters of what is going on in Gaza. I have not drank one Starbucks in the last 4 months. Starbucks could go to hell. Number 2, Coca-Cola. I put up on our chat that I would like the vendors on Baraka grounds to refrain from selling Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is another big financier of Israel and its activities. And basically, I told them, I cannot force you, but I would prefer not to see Coca-Cola sell, SM Jalil products, because SM Jalil is one of those companies that give back to every community. I would prefer to see their products. And SM Jalil recently relaunched their cola, and I am quite satisfied with that. One of the vendors told me that they have to pay rent, that is important to them, and people has buy Coca-Cola. Well, I said, go ahead and sell it. Go ahead and sell it. I have no problems with that. What is sad is to see that the same people who talking about Gaza comfortably sitting down and drinking Coca-Cola. What is sad is to see the same people sitting down and going McDonald's. And this is the problem, we are the problem. In Trinidad and Tobago, we are led by a government who don't care about nobody. We have an opportunity to change on one side and on the other side. But you see, we are not that type of people. We are not that type of people. We are sadly a bunch of hypocrites, a bunch of cowards, a bunch of fools who like to fool ourselves and do things behind closed doors, because at the end of the day, nobody ain't gonna see me eating McDonald's chicken, so I'll eat it. But you bought it. Try and make a difference for the children of Gaza, for the mothers of Gaza, please. This is 2 army personnel vehicles blocking an ambulance from carrying somebody who got shot. This is the type of sick, mentally deranged, diseased people we are dealing with. Right? Watch this again. Israeli forces snipe mother and a child. Watch this. Look at this. And you feeling comfortable drinking something that helping to finance this. You feeling comfortable to go and support things like Starbucks, where the financiers and the investors are supporters of all this nonsense. You feeling comfortable to do this. Well, continue to feel comfortable. This is where I have to end it off, but I will leave it with the clip that we have in the end, because my throat has officially given up. May God bless us. May He open our eyes to the truth that is going on there. And for our leaders in this country, from what I have seen, most of you are an embarrassment to what true Islam means and what it is supposed to be. Because quite frankly, many of you on the money, and I make no apologies for that. My friends, take care. All the best. And I'll catch you next week for Breaking Barriers. There's a repeat of this program on Saturday at 9 p.m. The video that we're about to show you, of course, is graphic in nature, because I have no intentions of hiding the truth and the facts. Take care. Assalamu alaikum and good evening.
More than 100 days and 75 years. 100 days of the highest rate of civilians slaughtered in the 21st century. Israel killing more than 10,000 children in what UNICEF has called a graveyard of children. 100 days of dropping 2,000-pound bombs hundreds of times on the very spaces families were crammed to seek shelter, murdering them in an ever-shrinking killing cage in sheer cruelty and deliberate destruction of life. 100 days of burning children's flesh down to the bone with illegal white phosphorus, and of destroying 400,000 homes to rubble and forcibly displacing 2 million people, 90% of the population, of bombing 320 schools so children in Gaza have no access to an education, ensuring lost generations, of destroying the healthcare system and decimating nearly every hospital, bombing them with patients in them and systematically targeting 637 doctors and healthcare professionals, an entire class of medicine, while injuring 60,000 so that they succumb to their wounds and die slow, painful deaths. Not enough to massacre them in their homes, but to massacre them in their hospital beds. 100 days of bombing bakeries and purposefully burning food while denying aid trucks in, so an entire civilian population of 2.3 million is mass starved. 80% of those starving in the world in Gaza, 9 out of 10 people in Gaza sleeping without eating, with Israel using starvation as a weapon of genocide on 1 million children. 100 days of killing more than 100 journalists, the highest number of journalists murdered in history. Destroying 169 press offices while banning uncensored foreign journalists in so no one can report the truth from Gaza. 100 days of Israel cutting off telecom and internet services while it burns entire communities alive, killing families in the dark. Only 6 ambulances left to save a population of 2.3 million. 100 days of destroying the world's oldest churches, mosques, universities, historical archives to erase a people's culture and their history. 100 days of target assassinations of Gaza's best and brightest, its leading poets and civic activists, its preeminent scholars and scientists, its leading public intellectuals, to kill any prospect of a people's future. 100 days of erasing 1,400 multi-generational families from civil registries, grandparents, parents, children and babies, sniping at women sheltering in churches, pulverizing cemeteries, raising caskets, desecrating the living and the dead, executing children, holding white flags in cold blood in front of their parents and parents in front of their children, field executions of innocent civilians, stripping them, thrusting their bodies on top of one another like cattle, and sexually assaulting the elderly, the disabled, men, women, and children, burning their bodies with lighters, electrocuting them, crushing their bones. 100 days of forcing thousands of mothers to undergo C-sections without anesthetics, to torture the living to death. 100 days of blowing limbs off 9,000 children and cruelly forcing thousands to undergo amputations without anesthetics. 100 days of orphaning 25,000. Creating a generation of traumatized children without parents. 100 days of collapsing neighborhoods on families' heads in their sleep. As they shelter in UN schools after being forcibly displaced from their homes, children's bodies crushed beneath rubble, soldiers laughing and filming themselves as they press the button to wipe out entire blocks on children's heads as though human lives are a game that they play. The sadism and sense of impunity and hatred for innocent life.
It's a Jewish country only. We don't need Muslims here.
Knowing no likeness in our lifetime. 100 days of them telling the world what they are doing in horrifying language, followed by action at the highest levels and across society. Language that we heard in the worst horrors of human history. Speaking of annihilating a people and of human animals. And that is why the world is marching with Palestine. Because it's impossible to know the truth as a human being of conscience and to uphold this for human life. 100 days of the first genocide in history, where its victims are broadcasting their own destruction in real time in the desperate, so far vain hope that the world might do something. This can never be self-defense. Nothing can justify this. This is genocide on a population that's been subjected to 75 years of annihilation.
And if I don't steal it, someone else is going to steal it.
Of ethnic cleansing and vicious apartheid on their land in Gaza and in the West Bank, a Nakba that has never ended. Of 56 years of brutal illegal occupation and violent oppression, of 17 years of a deadly siege in the world's largest concentration camp, a people denied their right to exist for the past 75 years, denied their right to live in dignity and in freedom, a people persecuted for decades, massacred in the thousands, held hostage in the thousands before October 7th and every day after October 7th, tortured in indefinite military detention without trial or charge, including thousands of children suffering pogroms of their villages, the destruction of their homes and schools, the uprooting of their olive trees and their history and their families and their livelihoods.